He tells us everything and he tells us nothing, and it is wonderful and I hate it. He didn't scramble like an egg, so we got folded like an omelet. We don't know if they were good in the past. We don't know if they were bad in the past. I'm thoroughly confused. Hey, what's up? It's me, Meanie Mosey. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. This is the 4th video in a series where I intend to catch up to One Piece before the end of 2024. In this video, I am covering chapters 1105 through, I believe it was 1122, from when the Buster Call is announced to the very end of Egghead after Vegapunk's message is complete. This one is going to be the oops all questions version of the videos that I usually record. I'm just gonna say what happened and I'm gonna say the question I have about it. I have a long list of things to get to, and so let's get to it. Question time. I would like to issue my second apology to Dr. Vegapunk. Not only is Vegapunk not bad, he's actually a very good person for 2 reasons. The main one is that override switch that he put in all the Kuma pacifistas. In creating them, not only was he like making an advanced scientific weapon, he recognized that this man has given his life to science in order to protect his daughter. And he realized that if one of his clones ended up killing his daughter, that would be a tragedy beyond compare. And he told Bonnie Kuma will always be on her side, and that just made me so happy, so grateful that he would have the foresight to do that. To be fair, the first impression that I got from Vegapunk, it was giving like, I'm a scientist. And by the end of this arc, he's taking full responsibility and even apologizing to the world for what he has wrought upon him due to his invention of the Mother Flame. And not only that, he's taking sole responsibility, and he's not pointing any fingers because he understands that he doesn't have a full history and he cannot properly determine good and evil, which is annoying, but it's also how someone like him would think. He's just stating the facts, and that's all that his message was stating the facts. But I'll get more on his message a bit later. The next thing I want to talk about, Katarina Devon showed up and she touched something and said mission accomplished, and I'm curious as to what she did because it reminds me of Vanderdecken's power back from Fishman Island and how he can touch something and throw it in a specific direction no matter how large that thing is. I know that's not her devil fruit. I know she has the Cat of Nine Tails devil fruit, but Blackbeard's crew has been doing some squirrely stuff with devil fruit since the beginning, and so I wouldn't be surprised if something like this were the case and she like did a switcheroo and she can switch it back or something like that. Yeah, I don't know what Blackbeard is up to, but he's up to something. And his people have an agenda. Possibly throwing a wrench in that agenda or augmenting that agenda is Caribou. He has stuck around for much longer than I imagined that he ever would. And the fact that he has learned such valuable information that the Straw Hat crew already knows, it high-key irritates me. He's just such a greasy man, and I don't want him to be relevant to the story, but he is. So that's that. The next thing is Kizaru got one-shotted by Luffy in 5th gear and is absolutely done. He didn't scramble like an egg, so we got folded like an omelet. He did not stand up for the rest of the chapters that I read. He just said, let me rest. He said, get me the phone number of the people who ran Sengoku's retirement party. I gotta talk to him about something. He is hurt with a capital H and he is cooked. Oh my gosh. Luffy flattened that man and spun him around like a pizza. And he's just like, no, I am sitting down. That makes me wonder if we're going to be getting a new admiral soon. Ooh, I've never seen somebody in One Piece get hurt like that. I've never seen somebody in anime actually get hurt and say, let me sit down for a second. Currently, as it stands, Fujitora and Ryokugu do not listen to Akainu at all. And they're like, I'll ask for forgiveness later instead of for permission now. Like, they just do what they want, honestly. Fujitora is more on the good side. Ryokugu thinks that Akainu is too soft, which is a problem. But I wonder if Kobe might be a possibility to be a new admiral. So far, all of the admirals have had devil fruit powers, And so I'm wondering if Kobe is strong enough to stand alongside them. Garp doesn't have devil fruit powers, and they've been asking him for a long time, and he just kept saying no. The next thing is the 5 elders seem to be these immortal monster creature beings, and they are immune to all damage. It's giving Monsters Inc. Water Noose. It's giving I will kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die. I wonder how long they've been around, like if they've been around since Emu, or they've come around after Emu, because Emu seems to be all the way old. Do they remember the first war with Joy Boy? Have they seen him personally with their own eyes? How old are these men, if you want to call them that still? What is their power? That does not look like any devil fruit that I've seen. That seems like some ancient type of something. And now I'm going to spend probably a majority of the rest of the video talking about Vegapunk's message, because boy was it a message. First off, it was so well done. Oh my gosh, it's Oda is a master at the info dump. Post time skip, there have been transitory arcs whose main purpose is not necessarily the story, but the most important thing about that arc is the information that it tells you in order to get you from point A to point B. Punk Hazard got us from Fishman Island to Dressrosa. Zoe got us from Dressrosa to Hoe Cake Island. And then this one seems to be getting us from Wano to wherever they're going after. I know it's Elbaf already, I know. But these transitory arcs are really just a creative way to info dump, just to get us all the information that we possibly need in order to fully understand what happens in the next arc. And they're always so well done. With all the information that he tells us, it's like drinking out of a metaphorical fire hose. But the audience has been prepared for this information for so long that we've got our metaphorical raincoats and our giant industrial strength water bottles, and we are ready. Even though I know so many more things now, I have way more questions than I had even before this. He tells us everything and he tells us nothing. And it is wonderful, and I hate it. One thing I did like is I love to see the perspectives from around the world and how different people got to react to Vegapunk's message. We got to see almost everyone the crew has spent time with ever. We got to see people who had the whole thing, the video connected, aux cord, all of that. Some people were just listening to the audio. Some people didn't care too much about it, like Nami's sister went to go to the Tangerine Grove. Some people cared deeply. Like Iceberg, he has a city to run that is drowning currently. He needed all of that information. Some people are misinformed as they're reading it. They think that Luffy's the one who's captured Vegapunk. It got almost every perspective. The Marines were confused. They're like, what are they talking about? People with high level of government clearance were talking about, what are they talking about? The 5 elders were pissed off the whole time trying to stop it. The celestial dragons were like, make it stop, go away. We're gonna dismember this man. And I think the celestial dragons, they were just angry because they thought that that was something that they should be angry about. But they didn't actually know what he was saying. There was one celestial dragon lady. She seemed to be interested in the information. She seemed to be willing to learn. And it just covered such a wide span of how this information was impacting everybody across the world. I love that we don't have to wonder or speculate about that. If you're liking this video so far and you want to kind of follow my journey with One Piece, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I have a whole entire series of videos from the very beginning when I started watching One Piece, so you might enjoy watching those as well. And I talk about other stuff sometimes too. So that being said, let's get into Vegapunk's message. So the very first thing that he said is that the world is going to sink into the sea, which is a problem that I didn't even think that we would have, but we have it. And so there's that. Not only is the world going to sink into the sea, but it has already sunk into the sea one time before, and it's going to sink a second time. I just love world building. I love this world building because with all of the unique individual worlds that we have gotten so far, the fact that the whole entire One Piece world is a drowned world, that it has islands because they're the tops of the continents that they formerly were, it's just wonderful. the fact that people are isolated and they can't sail around, it makes piracy essential. It makes the fact that they only have Marines essential. It's just an awesome world, man. Yeah. And he said that this isn't a natural disaster. This is a man-made disaster. Someone did this to the world on purpose. It seems like it's resulting from the use of the ancient weapon that the world government has. I'm thinking the first time that they used this ancient weapon, they built Enies Lobby on top of the whole of whatever island they destroyed, because Lulusia only caused the water levels to rise 1 meter. I'm thinking Enies Lobby did the same maybe a while back. I'm going to put a picture of Enies Lobby up, and you're going to see it looks exactly like Lulusia does, like the underwater waterfalls and all that. That ain't natural. So I'm thinking maybe the reason why Water 7 is having such problems with their water levels is because of the proximity to the sinkhole that Enies Lobby is on top of. Next thing is we learn more about Joy Boy, and I got some much needed clarification and some additional confusion to watch it down. So Luffy is not Joy Boy, he just has the same power as Joy Boy. And Joy Boy in turn is not Nika, he just has the same power as Nika. That's what I'm getting from all of this. Joy Boy came from an extremely advanced civilization, even more advanced than Egghead, and he was the first man on the sea to be labeled as a pirate. That begs the question, what was he doing that caused 20 kingdoms to unite against him and label him as a pirate and a criminal? Vegapunk is very sure not to take sides on this issue and only said that Joy Boy and the Alliance had competing ideologies. The ancient weapons as we know them are waiting for Joy Boy's return, and they are incredibly destructive. That begs the question, what good could Joy Boy have done with weapons like that? This was touched a little bit on in Punk Hazard too. Like the line between good and bad, when the pirates helped save the kids and the kids loved the pirates, and the Navy was like, you can't like the pirates because they're pirates, except we like them too, darn it. That kind of blur of the lines between good and bad is being brought into question with this arc also, because Vegapunk refuses to put the blame on anybody. He's not even saying this is a bad thing that happened, he's just saying this is what happened, this is a fact. Since the beginning of this story, we have been on the side of the pirates. Pirates are technically criminals. We have been rooting for criminals this whole entire time. They are going against their government. The government is supposed to be good. We have been shown many times in which the government has not been good. In Marineford, when they kept attacking the pirates as they were trying to flee, and everybody had died already. Everybody that they wanted to kill had died already. With the celestial dragons and their slavery and what they've done, White Town and all of that, and how they isolated that kingdom in order for their natural resources, and then they like ostracized them because of the disease that happened because they were harvesting the natural resources. And even Doflamingo was talking about it. Justice will win because the winner determines what justice is. It's all that kinds of stuff, and it's just so confusing, and I love it. The poneglyphs tell the true history of the world. Kozuki family engraved them. They were stonemasons. Nefertari family helped to scatter them. That's all that we know. We don't know if they were good in the past. We don't know if they were bad in the past. We just know what they did in the past. The Iron Giant Emmet. The Iron Giant Emmet uses the voice of all things. Several times in the story, a few characters have been shown to hear things that others can't. So far, it's Luffy, Roger, Shirahoshi, and Momonosuke. The characters known to use the voice of all things to communicate with these characters are the Sea Kings, Zunisha, and now Emmet. Emmet attacked Marijois 200 years ago. I'm wondering if Luffy's Devil Fruit was active then also, because Emmet only seems to move when he's affected by Joy Boy. He does seem to have his own personal will, his own personal sentience, so maybe he just felt like it. Who knows? But he also seems to be a very gleeful person. He was smiling and saying hee hee and all that. Luffy's Devil Fruit was stolen by Shanks from the Cypher Pole ship that Who's Who was on. So Shanks must have known its value if he would attack a ship for it. I'm thinking the fruit has to have been active at some point, because the government was like, it keeps slipping away from us. I'm wondering how many people before Luffy used that devil fruit, or if they've ever gotten close to having Joy Boy return. Vegapunk called out Roger's crew as the only ones who knew the full history of the world, and I thought this was interesting because it's like something that since Sabaody, dang, like, you're like, if you know what's going on, like, why didn't you do anything about it? When we get Rayleigh's perspective, he is drinking heavily, which he is not prone to do, and he says that Vegapunk is robbing the young'uns of their fun. I'm sorry, but the sea rising 200 meters does not exactly sound fun to me. It's just all confusing. I wonder how this is going to get tied up. I'm so curious, because it said when they found out the truth of the world, they just laughed. And I thought that that was interesting because Vegapunk said that about his own message, that people might just laugh at it, like they're completely incredulous about it. Oh gosh, good on you if you're keeping up with all this. I'm just talking. Keep in mind, Vegapunk doesn't know the full history of the world either. What could it be that would cause this crew to take no action in helping to find a solution to the history of the world? I'm thinking about how Whitebeard told Teach that he wasn't the man Roger was waiting for. So maybe they haven't taken any action because they're not the right people to do so and they're waiting for Joy Boy. Maybe Roger figured after he found out the truth about the world that the best thing that he could do was get as many people out onto the sea as possible, thus starting the Great Pirate Era. Oh! It said he got captured. It said he let himself get captured, didn't it? Like he was sick. So he let himself get captured so that he could spread a message because he knew the influence that he had. He didn't know who it was going to be, but he needed to get everybody out on the sea. Oh, hold on. Hold on. We're talking about the One Piece and who finds it. I'm confused about the truth of the world that can be found on the poneglyphs and the One Piece. These are two separate things, right? The truth of the world that can be found on all the poneglyphs, the One Piece. The One Piece, i.e. Gold D. Rogers' treasure, is brand new in terms of the 900-year timeline. The poneglyphs point to the One Piece, and that is because Roger made the poneglyphs point to the One Piece. Roger found all the poneglyphs, and then he made the One Piece because it's by Roger's design. If someone wants to go ham in the comments and explain all of this, please be my guest. I would love to read it. I will read every single word. But anyway, all 4 road poneglyphs point to where Laugh Tale is, right? Laugh Tale is the final island on the Grand Line, and once the crew gets there, they will come to a realization as to where the One Piece is. The One Piece is not on Laugh Tale. I'm pretty sure that's what we learned. So we have the knowledge of the world in the One Piece. The One Piece is Roger's treasure. Now, as far as who gets that, as far as who gets the One Piece, Vegapunk tossed that conclusion all the way up in the air. We have the 4 emperors competing for it. The Revolutionary Army is competing for it. The Marines are competing for it. And I think it was the man with the burn scar he had a dark face in the thing. We didn't really know who that was in that panel. But the one thing is, whoever gets it might not be the one that Joy Boy desired. Which had me confused, because why would Joy Boy even know what the One Piece is? Unless it's just something that Roger renamed and hid somewhere. As we know from Shoo Shoo the dog in the very beginning, treasure can be whatever the heck you want it to be as long as it's important to you. Now that we're thinking about titles and labeling things and what One Piece is, does Luffy need the One Piece to become the King of the Pirates? Does he need to be the King of the Pirates in order to be the most free person in the world? He's been saying that he's going to be King of the Pirates and that he's going to find the One Piece this whole entire time. Are these two things directly connected to each other, or are they exclusive? Man, I don't know. In Met, the Iron Giant said sorry to Joy Boy because he couldn't make him king. Does Joy Boy have the same interpretation as king as Luffy does, which is just being the most free? Or did he actually want to rule over everybody else? And if so, is his sole leadership and the avoidance of it something that would cause the 20 kingdoms to unite against him and create an empty throne in theory, even if it didn't stay empty for long? If you came to this video looking for answers for something, I am so sorry, you ain't getting none from me. The last thing is the D names, for which we still have hopelessly little information because it was conveniently cut out just at the right time. So we have Monkey D. Garp, Monkey D. Dragon, Monkey D. Luffy, Portgas D. Rouge, Gold D. Roger, Portgas D. Ace, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, Jaguar D. Saul, Blackbeard D. Teach, and Nefertari D. Lily, which is 10 people, which is a lot fewer people than I thought would have D names so far, as much as people joke about it and everything. But those are all the people who we know have the Will of D. We don't know what the Will of D is. And Met seemed cool with Luffy because he had a D name. Like, as soon as he heard D, he was like, alright, that's fine with me. Did Lily start all this? Was she the first one with the D name? Are they all descendants of Nefertari Lily? She helped scatter the poneglyphs. Was she the first enemy of the gods? If they all have the same will, are they all going to end up working together in some sort of way? That's hard to imagine because Blackbeard just defeated Law and he has captured Garp right now. He's already gone against 2 of his D people. Predictions I have after all of this information. I have 2 predictions. As much as I hate to say it, I don't trust Shanks one bit. There was a chapter a while ago, kind of in the Reverie, I think, at some point, when he met with the 5 elders. After seeing those men and what they do and the malice they have towards everybody and how they consider everybody else to be insects and all that, I don't understand how he, as an emperor, has the ability, even as an emperor of the sea, he's still an insect in their eyes. I don't understand how he has the ability to get an audience with them and not end up arrested or murdered on sight. He's up to something, and I don't know about him anymore. The only other person we know to walk in and out of Marijois like that was Doflamingo, and Doflamingo was born a celestial dragon. And I don't know if Shanks was born a celestial dragon. I don't know what deal he has with the celestial dragons, but he walked into the main government area and walked out with a bounty on his head. Like, that's a fake bounty. It's got to be a fake bounty if you just walk in and walk out like that. Like, as strong as Shanks is, his subordinates are known to be weak, notoriously weak, because his crew is so strong. As strong as he is, I don't think he could stand up against the whole entire government if they were like, we want to capture you right here and now. So he cut a deal of some sort, and I feel so bad because it's Shanks. It's like, Shanks, your arm. It's that Shanks. That was like the first moment that made me think that this story is built different, is when that man lost an arm and it like zoomed out, and that was, oh gosh. It was Shanks who stopped Marineford, who was like the good voice of reason. It was Shanks who has a statue at the One Piece store in Japan that you can sit under. We love Shanks, but Shanks is being shady, and we're in the end game now and we ain't got no time for shade. My second prediction is that Kobe is going to be an admiral and Kizaru is going to retire. Here's why. I was at a family reunion one time and we were doing relay races, and my uncle, who's in his late 50s, ran the last leg against my sister, who is in her mid-20s, and in trying to beat her, he pulled a hamstring and had to sit down for the rest of the day. And that's what I think happened to Kizaru in this fight. He is 58 years old. Kobe, on the other hand, has a dream of being an admiral, and he seems especially determined now to make sure that Luffy doesn't get the One Piece. Poor Kobe. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kobe. He is adored by the public. He's called Kobe the hero. He's incredibly strong, as we've recently seen. Like, he's not admiral level. He's not admiral material yet. But I can see a situation in which Akainu would prematurely promote Kobe in order to save face in a world where There is mistrust due to Vegapunk's message, and his people are being hunted by civilians and with hopes for a payout from the Cross Guild. One question is, would being in Sword be a problem for Kobe? I don't think so, because Garp is a member of Sword and he has been offered a promotion several times. Those are all of the questions that I have from this chunk of chapters. I'm thoroughly confused. I am now 12 chapters away from the end. The next chunk of chapters that I'm going to read is going to be 1123 through 1134, and I'll be fully caught up. I guess I'll go rewatch Haikyuu or something. Man. So yeah, I'm gonna try to edit this video real quick and get it out to you guys. And then you can expect a video tomorrow because I'm gonna be hella reading tonight. It's really manageable. So yeah, man. If you like this video, you can go watch my entire journey through One Piece. But you can watch my entire journey from East Blue all the way up until now. It's all up on my YouTube channel. Go watch it. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. If you like this video, then like this video. Please subscribe to my channel in order to keep up with me as I continue to read. I plan to do videos with each new chapter that comes out next year. And turn on the notification bell because the algorithm's been doing some squirrely stuff lately, and that will just make sure that you get notified whenever I post a video. Okay? And so with that, I will catch you guys next time when I cover chapters 1123 through 1134. Alright, bye.